All right, everybody, here's what we're going to do today. You tell them, Jana.
All right, we're going to do something different today, a little bit more sophisticated than the stuff that we've been doing before. This is an acrylic on canvas, and it's one of these wide things, you know, what do you call them, a gallery canvas, I guess.
Yeah, framers don't like those.
Framers don't like those. I like a little border around them anyway, actually. Do you know, like that little board insert?
I know, that's a liner.
I think they're a liner, is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, what this is about, this is I love the darkness of it, really.
Yeah.
I found it really kind of intriguing. I did this on Saturday. And for this, as well as my lessons, and what I wanted to establish like a dark to light. I wanted to have dimension to it.
Right.
And what I'm showing everybody, because this is what I'm going to paint again, but I can't paint things twice exactly, so it's not going to turn out exactly like that. It just won't. But anyhow, this is, so we're going to work with this one now, and it's probably going to take more than one session. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So let's get started.
Yes.
I just want to tell you about if anybody's interested in what the colors are going to be.
Well, you can tell them that when you're doing it.
Oh, I can do that when I
Yeah.
can do that, can't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Because there are some very interesting colors in it. So I'm going to put that there. And then how I go about this is I use a plastic plate for a palette, and then I use, as you know, the ice cube tray. You know? Or egg cartons work too if they're plastic.
You better tell them again how that works.
Okay, what this is one of these little Rubbermaid thingamybobs from a dollar store. And in the bottom of it I put a wet cloth, and I put just a little bit of Javex or peroxide on it to keep it from the paints from smelling.
Yes.
Or they, you know, it'll go kind of nasty,
musty.
Really. Yeah, go musty. So, and this is an ice cube tray, and that's how I fill it up. And this thing lasts for years, really. I mean, I clean out every once in a while around the edges because it does get dried out. But generally speaking, they last for quite a long time. And so so it really, really works well for me.
Okay, it's amazing, folks.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. So I've got a quinacridone crimson over here and an ultramarine blue. I'm going to be working with that. They're two quite transparent colors in acrylic as well as they are in watercolor. So I'm going to add some opaqueness to it.
All right.
So, but I'm just going to plow right in here, and you'll see what I've done is you can't really see this yet.
Yeah, we can turn it around. Let them see.
Okay.
Point it out.
All right. So what I'm going to do, what I wanted is light up here and dark down here.
Okay.
So I'm basically going to do that, and then I'm going to do the light. Well, you'll see.
All right.
Okay, you ready, guys?
Ready.
Everybody ready. Everybody's ready. Okay, so I'm going to plow in here with this, and plow in here with this, and then we're going to do this kind of stuff.
I can do that. Even I can do that.
Well, there you go.
I see.
Yeah, no, I add stuff to this, but you kind of have to do a couple of coats, really, you know, like it's the same thing as if you were painting a wall. You have to do that. So I'm really just going to juggle these right at the moment. I love that ultramarine combination with the quinacridone crimson. Those quinacridone colors, I guess they're synthetic, but they're beautiful and very true.
So this is kind of a canvas framers like.
Oh yeah, this is you'll get this one, Ivan. You know.
In case if you folks don't know, my livelihood is picture framing. Well, the thicker the gallery canvases, as they call them, you need floaters for the frames. And
yeah, explain those, Evan, because I'm not even sure I know what they. But
a floater frame is just like an L. You know, like it's a piece of wood that's the L shape.
L shape going in, not around it. You know.
Well, the top is the narrow part. Most of the liners are narrow, or floaters are narrow on the front, and then they drop down deeper than the canvas, and then they make a 90-degree angle, so you have like an L when you're looking at it on the edge, or if you're looking straight down. See, then you can. The canvas has something to lay on the bottom.
Oh yes, of course.
And you can put the space between the canvas and the outer edge of the frame.
Right.
So what the painting looks like is floating. But
I see.
They don't have
hence the word floater.
Floater. Not the kind that's in your eyeball.
Okay. I am now moving to phthalo blue, because it's a cold blue.
All right.
And I want this because I'm going to start working at the bottom of it. And see how much darker that is?
Oh yeah. So anyway, the some of those floaters are hard to work with because they're deep and they're narrow, and then when you try to join them, they don't join well. And
So they have to be accurate, don't they, really?
Oh, yeah. And then the other thing is, I hate to tell you, but you're using a cheap canvas here.
Oh, I know it is. That's just one that I want.
I know. But you see, you can buy them from certain stores, which I won't mention their names. And some of them are made, or a lot of them are made in China, and I have nothing against that, except they don't go by the proper size. So a 16 by 20 canvas, for instance, can be 15 3/4
Oh, yeah, it's not
by
quite done.
19 3/4, or it can be over 16 and over 20. And so the floater, you want roughly 1/4 of an inch of space between the canvas and the frame.
Right.
And if somebody just phones up and say, I want a 16 by 20, well, it could be so far off, your distance between the canvas will not be even all around.
That must be frustrating. That must be really, really frustrating, Ivan. I'm sure you would just drive you crazy.
So is this door.
Oh, sorry about that. Do they come in different colors? Can you do them in different colors, or are they pretty basic?
Oh well, they're coming more and more all the time. A lot of blacks, browns, silvers, golds, neutral, natural wood, and now they're coming out with all kinds of different things.
Are they?
Yeah, and some manufacturers manufacture their own canvas, and so nothing is consistent. It's just all over the place.
All right.
But the canvases, all the different sizes of canvases is what really plays havoc. Because you can't just phone up and say, I want a 16 by 20. Because then your distance might be 1/8 of an inch on the edges and 5/16 up and down. And then it's terrible looking.
I'm just going down into a little
Enough of that. Let's get on to the paint.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I find out.
Okay.
I hope they do too, because it's what to frame, especially as an artist, because it's expensive.
Yes.
For one thing, and you want to, except you're not. You really aren't.
Well, we
I
try.
send everybody to you because you're
Thank
so
you.
reasonable.
Well, we try.
What do you do?
We gotta make a living, but we try to keep the prices. I know the salesman from one of our major suppliers. He says, "Ivan, you're doing it all wrong. You start at the top and work down.
Funny.
You charge them a maximum you can get. And if they
Do
say
they
no,
do that? Oh dear.
well, that's
Now look, I just want you to see what's happening here. I've got a little bit of cat orange in with that red.
yes, okay. Now you're doing a little.
I'm just doing a little diddles here.
Yeah, but you're doing this a little more sophisticated.
Yes, I am, definitely. And I have, this is what I was kind of thinking about, my paintings are quite eclectic. In other words, you can't really tell it's the same artist doing the
Never
same
mind
thing.
that word. What's that mean?
It means I do a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And you don't know necessarily what it is. So.
Oh, is that what eclectic means?
Eclectic means just a bunch of different.
Jumble, mumble.
Kind of a bit like that.
All right.
Yeah, it's not quite
I'm
close.
down to
enough.
earth.
Yeah. So I'm going to put this in, but what I like to do is I push the brush strokes. The brush strokes really express it,
All right.
And so now this is going to take a lot of time. I just don't throw this on and do it. So I'm just going to be doing it because I have to do it several times before it's ever going to work.
All right.
So stay with me, folks.
Okay.
Stay with me. So I'm just juggling these colors around. And the pigment, of course, underneath is still dampish.
Yeah.
So that's going to affect it. So I'm just going to do this just to start it so you can see it. So I would like people to work along with me. And I'd like you, what I really, really, really like, I like hearing from you guys.
I know, I
love that. And to find out how you're doing and are you doing it, And do these, so I really do hope you do that, is, write me and say, yeah, I tried it and that was a pain in the behind and I wasn't able to do any more, whatever goes on. Yeah. But anyway. Okay, what I'm going to do then, just to start, I'm just going to leave that for a minute. And I'm going to make these wonderful little circles. Now, these little circles, of course, are grapes.
Okay.
And I'm going to have the light coming from left to right, which I usually do it the other way, but I'm going to do it just this way. Okay. And I want to have something a little bit lighter. So I'm going to take a little bit of Naples yellow, with some of this stuff, and I'm just going to kind of plunk them in here. Got a runny nose this morning.
That's what I saw going up the road.
I'm a little slow in this way.
I wondered what that
You
was.
wonder what that was. So I'm making
You're putting
these.
those in early? I thought you would have put those in after you did everything else.
Oh, did you? Did
Yeah.
you say? Did you think that?
I really
Ivan?
did.
Did you really?
I thought you would have all the background done
Did?
first.
Oh no. I work at the same time. I can work everything pretty much at the same
All
time.
right, okay.
Yeah. And you'll see that. So we have to put these little guys in here. Everybody's going to say, please rush along and move this along. You won't
Well,
have to
you
do that
got
with-
some things you can do quick, some things you can't.
Yeah.
And so, folks, if you want to learn to do this right, you just have to,
Bear with it.
yeah, don't rush.
Now, the other thing, I'm doing a branch here.
That's the
And the
that's the
one-
grapevine.
It's a grapevine. And why I'm doing it, I'm doing it this way and this way and this way, because that's how it grows. You know, it had a struggle to get into the world, if you like.
Well,
So it's not just a line. It's got some personality. So I do
Okay,
that
whatever
kind
you
of thing.
say.
Thank you. Thank you
Now,
for being so.
I really don't know
support-
much about grapes and vines.
You don't.
No,
Okay.
except what the Bible teaches.
Oh yes. Well, that's
We
important.
should connect it to the vine.
Yes.
But I know I was in St. Catharines for 6 months, and of course, Niagara Peninsula, a great place for
Oh yes.
fruit and fish, and they grew. And it amazes me how those grapevines. There's nothing but one little stem basically in the winter.
Isn't that astounding?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and here you got this rows and rows of these little stems, and boy,
And within them,
in
though.
the fall,
Yeah.
woo,
Wicked.
just plastered.
Wonderful. I love going up to the valley for that.
Yeah.
You know, the wineries are up there, and they're absolutely stunning.
You know those grapes those blue, I call them purple. You know those ones that are bunched. I think they are the ones they use for wine.
Yes, I suppose they are.
Can't get any this year.
Oh, really? I wonder if that was the frost. Remember that
I
frost we
know.
had?
But my wife loves those, and she looks forward to having a couple of feeds of those every year. And I went to a couple of the stores, and they
didn't
said,
get
"Well,
them,
they're
eh?"
not in yet. They're late." Well, they never came. I guess they were late.
Yeah, they are late indeed. Okay,
Well,
let's
there's
just-
grapes. There's grapes galore. Because now they make them without seeds. I love those ones, those purple ones without the seeds.
Yeah, I do too.
The seeds,
I like grapes. They're one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I like most things, but most fruit. I'm just going to stick a little leaf in here.
All right.
It's just more for placement.
You have to know what those leaves look like.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
do.
know what grape.
I have grape leaves upstairs there off my
You do?
balcony. I do.
A real grape leaf.
Yes, I do. They're probably pretty bad shape right now, this time of year.
Are they alive?
I've got grapevine back there.
You have
I've got tons of grapes back there.
in outdoors.
Yes, I'll show them to you. They may be the kind of grapes that April likes. If they are, you
Are they-
certainly want them
do you
to.
have
They're not
grapes?
big. They're
Oh,
just
those little ones.
Oh, hey. Okay, help yourself.
Oh, I'll be a hero.
Oh, you will be here. Oh, and I'll be so glad to be a part of your
I
heroism.
love, I love being a hero.
Of course you do. Get yourself a cup of coffee, people. I won't be a minute.
Yes, this doesn't take any explanation.
No, really, it doesn't. This is what we call making little circles. You know, but we have to have these.
While you're making some more circles, I got to tell you.
Okay. Oh, good.
I got to tell you, this is priceless.
Oh, yeah.
Our grandkids stayed Saturday night over sleepover. They
Oh,
love
how-
sleepovers.
I
They're
bet.
they're 5 and 7. Carter's 5 and Natalie's 7. And Natalie loves sleeping on the floor in the living room. We
cute.
have a couple of those foam things, and she
Yes.
makes up a bed. And I woke, for us who've reached this age where you can't go all night without getting up to use the bathroom.
Pardon him, folks.
I woke up.
Don't be too graphic.
No, that's all I'm doing. I woke up and used the bathroom, and I noticed the clock lights out. Oh, great! I said the power's off. So I go out and here, Carter. There's a little night light for the kids.
Yeah.
Their lights are on. Carter's in the one bedroom, and Natalie's down in the living room, and both of them have lights. and mine are out. And so I go, I must have blown a fuse. And I turn the bathroom light, it works. Oh, so I got to go down and change that. So I keep a flashlight on our bureau so that, you know, I think everybody should have a flashlight. If there's ever a problem or a fire and you need to get out and you don't have any power, you got to have a light.
Well, that's a good idea to keep an eye on flashlight, but thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah, because
we do it this time now, you know, with winter coming.
I love those grapes. Anyway, so I go downstairs, no lights in the basement. Well, the basement is walk-in level. There's no lights, no power. This is weird. How can you can't, and I tried all the.
What did they do?
It was weird. About half the house had power, half didn't. I couldn't understand it. I looked at the fuse box, and I said, "How could the fuses weren't blown?" And I'm thinking, "What's going on here?" And I checked things out, and I was hesitant to go to sleep. I thought, I don't want to short out somewhere in a fire, right? So I checked out, and I tried this and that, and I said, well, I got to go back to bed. I woke up, I don't know what time it was, early. And my clock light's flashing. That means the power's back on. I said, how did that happen? And I go.
Have you got ghosties or little things that go bump in the night?
I was beginning to wonder what's going on here. And I go out, and here's Natalie. She's at the door.
Grandpa.
And she said, Papa, there's a noise downstairs. There's a bang, and then there's a noise. So I go down, and here's the stove clicking. Every 5 seconds, click, click. Click, click. I said, what's going on? So I go downstairs, and here in my computers were off. And here they are trying to start. Like the lights, and that's what was making the clicking. The computer's trying to start made the stove click. Now figure that one out.
I don't know. Is that beyond me?
And so I'm trying, so finally I pull the. Oh, and I turned the lights on. The lights are flickering.
I just need to discuss something.
All right,
here.
yes, go right ahead.
Okay, I'm going to take some ultramarine blue.
Yes.
And some of this quinacridone crimson-y stuff. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of Naples yellow to it.
All right.
Because I just want
this is more grapey color.
This is more grapey color. So what I'm going to do is I'm
going to start killing all the grapes.
Yeah, I am.
We're going to. She's growing grapes.
I am growing grapes, folks.
Oh, I like the purple.
So you can't really see them too clearly yet.
Yeah, okay.
So while Ivan's telling him a story, I'm just going to fill these little things in.
Okay.
Now carry on, Ivan.
And again, tell the colors. Don't
okay.
Forget.
This way we've got the quinacridone crimson, ultramarine blue, and now I'm using a bit of Naples yellow with it. And you can see I'm just kind of filling it. It looks like the same color, but it's going to change.
All right.
This is the darkest dark of it.
Okay.
All you have to do is just kind of fill them in.
All right. So while you're filling,
you fill.
So I'm really confused.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Because the lights are going on and brightening and lowering. Oh yes, and when I looked at the clock for a bit, it wasn't flashing. It was coming bright and then it would dim, bright and dim. And I thought, I got to video this. Nobody's going to believe me. But when I go downstairs with Natalie, then I go down to the fuse box, and here the lights downstairs are flickering bright and dull. And the computer's trying to start and stop. And I think, well, this is weird. And you know how when the power goes off and your clocks come back on, they'll flash?
Yeah.
This didn't flash. It was not flashing because it was turned off, so it thought the power was still on. But it wasn't connecting right. So I finally pulled the power bar for the computer because I couldn't get them to stop trying to turn on. And that's it. They stopped. And the lights came on bright. And I thought, this is weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
And so I finally told Natalie, well, everything's okay. I fixed it. Back to bed, she goes. And we got to go. I get up, and Carter is, everybody's waking up. I can hear April talking to the kids. And so I get up, and she says, there's something wrong. The lights aren't bright. I thought I had that fixed. And she said, I plugged in, we got one of those dish heaters, to bring in, because we have electric heat.
Yeah.
And we got one of those for fast heat. She said, it won't come on very bright.
Really?
Yeah, and so we're puzzled.
Okay, just for a second now. I'm just going to go in here with some darks behind. This is
Yes.
phthalo blue.
Yeah, we can't miss out on the paintings.
No, we don't. But I'm fascinated.
We're building up to the climax here.
Oh, really? I can know when the plot thickens.
Oh no, it's getting good.
Oh, it's really good. Okay, I'm just going to now in
Look at
between
that.
here. Believe it or not,
Oh,
I'm just
the
going to go
darks.
with some darks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
So I go downstairs, and Carter's following me, and it was interesting because I'm puzzled what's going on.
Right.
And he goes over and he looks out the studio window. Now Roy, my brother-in-law, is an electrician, and of course Carter and Roy was over one day and we were talking about electricity, and because we had a little problem, and Roy came over and fixed it. These kids are amazing. I mean, they amaze me what comes out of them.
Yeah.
And Carter says, he goes and he looks out the studio window, because we can see down to Joyce and Roy's.
Yeah.
He says, Papa, Roy's light is on. You need to go down and see him because he knows all about wires.
Oh my dear. And of course you went tootling off there.
Well, I told him what's going on. Oh yeah. He said that's what? That's normal? He says, well, here, do a little experiment. He says, turn the stove on. So April turns the stove on, and guess what? That heater dish, it brightens up.
Well, what was going on?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's going on here? Like, you'd think if you turned the stove on, it would take more power, right?
Well, you wouldn't, you thought?
But it didn't. The heater came on bright.
Isn't that weird?
Well, and so did the lights. And he says, oh yeah, he says, you got that happens down this road. He says, there's a problem between the pole and your meter. He said, you got a two-part panel. I said, yes. And I said, I figured it out that the right-hand side of the panel is okay. Everything there works right. Yeah, he said, it's the other half. He said, there's a problem. It rained last night and there's no bad connection.
Oh,
I said, that's normal? Oh yeah. He said, call the power commission and tell them you're talking to your electrician and he told you what to do. Come down and there's a problem between the wire or the pole and the...
I didn't have any problem.
I never had that in my life. I never heard of it.
I've never heard anything like that.
But it was weird, the things that were going on. I said, how can you have power in half the house? You got power? You don't have power.
Exactly.
So anyway, I called the power commission. Oh, yes, okay, yeah, okay. We'll be down roughly 10 to 2. Oh, great. This is like 7:30. And
but you did have some power.
Yeah. So
at least you had some
we left
power.
the stove on. Now the stove was turned on, but it wasn't much heat. It was barely enough to heat up a...
Oh, isn't that something?
It was barely... It didn't turn red. It just got warm. But then the heater and the lights worked better with that on. Imagine that. I mean, I'm really confused.
That is so funny.
And well, it wasn't even a half an hour. And Carter, of course, he's all excited. He wants to see the power truck, right? He wants to watch them.
Aww.
And April says,
so
look,
sweet.
there's a truck already. It might have been 15 minutes. And so, of course, we're all upstairs in Brandon's, we call it Brandon's room. That was Brandon's room. Looking, because we can see the truck. And they just come down, and guess what they did? They get in their bucket, and went up, and the guy grabs some kind of cutter, cuts off a little branch of a birch tree that's in the wires, and then he cuts out another one about 3 or 4 feet long, and throws it down. And that's it.
Oh.
Puts the string back on, and I opened the window and says, "Is that all there was?" Yeah, he said a wire was in there interfering, or a branch interfering with the wire. And
isn't that wild?
so we have power back to normal.
So you got power back on.
But the part when Carter says, "Papa, you need to get Roy. He knows all about wires." Oh, I cried down.
Yeah.
I just couldn't help it. It was what comes out of those kids is amazing.
Oh, and yes, he knows all about words. I think we had him. Where's
Roy Hill.
Roy Hill. I mean, how old would he be?
Oh, he's 82 now?
Yes, he's the same one then.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, he was, years and years and years ago, we had him over. We had a swimming pool, I don't know if you remember that. Yes, we pull down and see bright. And Roy did the electrical work on it.
Yeah.
And Jessica helped him. She was just a little tot, really. She said that she's got talent for this. Now imagine. She didn't go in for it, but isn't that interesting?
Isn't it?
You know, I thought it really was. Okay, what's happening right in the moment? I just wanted to show folks here. So I gradually lighten them.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of gradually lightening them. And I'm using Naples yellow to do it. And then I'll finally do it something else. But you see what's happening
Yeah,
here?
that's the light shining on
There's
them.
the light shining on them. But they're coming along.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not boring people.
Well, if your painting is boring, maybe my stories aren't.
That's right, folks. Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. You know, that's very
My
true.
wife would say, nothing like tooting your own horn.
This is very true. What I'm going to do, though, because I want to work at a certain section so you can see it, rather than do the whole thing. I just go, kind of all over. So I'm going to put a little bit of green in. Now, for the greens, in acrylic, this is my favorite green, and it's Indian yellow and a bit of any of these blues I picked up, because what I wanted to have, isn't that nice? I want to have
nice grape leaves.
Yeah. And I just want to throw a little bit of green around here, but I'm still keeping it dark.
So you're working on that little section rather than the whole thing.
I am, because I want to keep people interested. Because I know that if I were watching this, I would say, okay, what are we going to do next? But it's so pretty when it comes together.
Oh, yeah.
Really is. That's why I wanted them to see this first.
Okay,
so
yes.
You can see the depth.
Now I remember what grape leaves look like.
That's great, yeah. They look a little like maple leaves, only a bit longer.
Yeah.
So I'm putting some dark green in here. And I'll make some leaves as well. And it's really, really dark, and then I lighten it up.
Yeah.
So I'll work on a section at a time so you can see it. Okay, now this is going to be a dark leaf in here. Where do your grandchildren? Are they close by to you?
Oh, 5 minutes down the road.
Oh, lovely.
They come. Well, they came in the afternoon and they stayed. And April said, "I think I'm up to having them tonight. I'll see how it goes." And so, they were so excited because they keep asking for more sleepovers.
Oh, isn't that's a compliment here. That's wonderful.
And of course, Natalie said, "This was the best sleepover we ever had."
Oh.
And he was like, "I don't know what I don't know why they want to sleep. What's so great about sleepover?" But they love it.
Well, they do, and I can see why they would, Lovey.
We had a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet you do. So I'm just staying with these darks just yet.
Oh yeah. That's the master's touch. They did the darks, the light. The old masters.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have the lights that we have either. When they were working with natural light,
I know.
they didn't have. They had candlelight and things like that.
I
So
know, but
it wasn't until the Impressionists,
they're.
that they came out with really.
Yeah,
well,
but even their landscapes.
The Renaissance did
their
them.
landscapes were. Sunrise and sunset, the darks and the lights were amazing.
Oh, I love them, like Rembrandts and things like that. Okay, we'll just throw a little bit of that in there. And I lighten it up gradually. Okay, let's get some of those little grapes there that are going to do some wonderful things. Also, I wanted to put a little bit of orange in it. Orange, cadmium orange is a wonderful color. It brings things through, but I don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to go back into here. Let's get some light here. Ivan, we need some light, Lovey. A little bit more. Do you work in acrylics like this?
Not like that. I don't do still life. Still life and I don't see eye to eye.
Don't I?
No.
I don't do many of them. I could probably.
Well, this is not still life. This is grapes, but it's kind of borderline.
It kind of borderline.
I like. No, I'm not into that. I'm into my new stuff.
And it's lovely.
We had our show yesterday, Cynthia.
Oh, right.
Wow,
I'm
it was so
sorry to
exciting. We had so many people. Oh, what a blast.
Good.
Well, the fun part is all the people coming and the carrying on.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, it was so much fun. I know, I just love people.
You do. I know you do.
I like teasing them. But some people you got to be careful with.
Do you think?
Oh, yeah. There's certain types of people you can't joke with.
No, that's true.
And I don't want to turn anybody off, and I never intended to. But sometimes I do. My wife said, you can't joke with people. They think you're serious.
Some people do.
Yeah.
They think you are serious.
I remember when I was only a punk. I was 21 and I became, or 22 and I became, well, I was 21 when I was working at the press where I went and I became the assistant manager.
All right.
And we had students working for us because it was a private school, right? And we had a woodworking factory, a furniture factory, a bookbinding place, a printing press, bakery. And so students could work and earn their way through school. And I was in charge of the print shop as assistant manager. And Lorna, I remember I asked Lorna to do something one day. And she says, no, I'm not going to do that. I think, what do you mean you're not going to do it? Who's in charge here? No, I'm not going to do it. I said, well, you got to do it. No, I don't have to do it. I said,
I love that. I'm kind of on her side.
oh, you are? Oh, you're getting marked. You're just staying after school. Anyway, I said, you got to do it. No, I don't have to do it. Well, what
did you want her to do?
Oh, it was some job I asked her to do. Wasn't anything, And
Poor
I said, well, what if you don't do it? She said, I said, no, I don't have to do it. I'll quit. I said, you can't quit. You're fired.
That's funny.
So I walked away laughing, And 15 minutes later, I said, where's Lorna?
And you hurt her feelings.
The other students said, she's gone to the dorm. You fired her. I said, I didn't fire her. I was joking with her.
Yeah, but... Oh, that is so funny. Okay, we're looking.
I had to phone down the dorm and send her back up here. I was the one carrying on with her.
That's funny.
Oh, dear.
Oh, you hurt her feelings.
I know. I didn't.
Oh, you meanie.
Well, meanie?
You meanie.
There's a student telling me you're not going to do this. I'm the boss.
Oh, that's funny. I'm going to take another, I'm just going to do a little bit of this stuff up above here with taking a different size brush.
We became good friends. So.
Oh, of course you would.
And
most people, Ivan, know that you're not serious. I mean, I know you're not serious. Oh, dear. Okay, we're going to go plowing up here. Got to do another load of color.
What are we doing now?
Well, I'm going to back up here again.
Oh, you're going...
Well, you see, I need 2 coats on to her.
I know.
You know?
It's just like winter. You need 2 coats.
That's right.
Oh, isn't it nice this morning? It's plus... What?
Yeah, what is it this morning? It's warm.
Up around 9, 10, I guess. For you folks in the States.
We're getting, I think, that hurricane that was from down your way, down.
Oh.
I haven't really looked too much at them. There's been so much other news.
Oh, my dear. It's sad news.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's been a sad week.
Yeah, and then there was a plane crashed.
What's this?
Yes,
A plane
189 people or something. Yeah, that was on the news this morning.
Oh, I had to...
Not local, it's...
Aww. Oh, that's so upsetting.
Just took off in a few minutes. And it was a new plane.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah.
Dear me. Really loss of life.
Ugh.
Anyway, we won't go that
No,
soon.
all right, let's talk more.
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Do you know Nora Gross?
Pardon?
Do you know Nora Gross?
Yes, I do. Very well.
She showed up yesterday.
Did she? She didn't drop in here.
She came to see us.
Aw.
I'm so glad she survived that cancer.
Oh my, yes, she's a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
And she's
We
a
got
dear
nice
woman.
pictures. So her husband took pictures of her and I and Cynthia. Cynthia and her together, and Nora and I.
She's a lovely painter.
Yeah.
And she teaches art, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Nice pictures.
Yeah, she's very good.
Even if I do say. She really looks well.
Yeah, she is very
She
attractive.
was vibrant.
Oh, lovely. Okay, now I'm going to start to go up a little bit lighter.
Yes, tell us what you're doing here.
Okay, I'm just going up lighter. This light is coming from here. I'm
Yeah.
going to pitch to that in a second. And the brush strokes, like I'm not painting a wall. You know,
No, you
it's
don't want
different
to.
than- No, I don't want that look. But I had to do the foundation color first.
Okay.
So I threw in that with ultramarine blue, burnt, it's always burnt sienna, ultramarine blue, and this quinacridone crimson. So I did that. See, it's just starting to get a little bit interesting now. You see that? And
Yeah.
it really does. So now back into this cat orange.
It looks so easy.
Do you think?
Yeah.
So I'm just putting a little bit of red into that. And I'm taking my brush like this. Watch this.
Oh,
So I'm going to push that in there. So I don't want to overdo it. I'm just going to throw that in there. I don't want to lose the interest here. See how that
oh yeah, that's just marvelous.
neat? Now this is what I might do, and we'll just discuss this, is I'll take it to a certain point, and then what I'll do is I'll do the boring stuff. I know, the boring stuff, and then I'll show them how I finish it, because what they're seeing how I'm doing this now.
Yeah.
So I'll do this boring stuff.
That's not
What-
boring.
That's not boring?
No,
this
I
isn't
love
boring.
the
No, no.
light coming
Yeah,
through.
so this isn't boring stuff.
No.
No. And I'll do this. I won't do this by myself. But I'm just thinking some of the
What
stuff.
are you gonna do with it?
All right, now I'm just going to go over here now. I'm going to take some of this crimson stuff again. It's just a little bit darker, don't you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's called chiaroscuro light. I don't even know if that's the
Oh,
brand front.
come on.
I know. I don't want to
Tell
frighten
me.
you away.
No, you're
And I'm not even
allowed
sure
to.
that's how it's
How do you
pronounced.
say that again?
It's the chiaroscuro light.
Yeah, right. Say that in English. Say it slow. So
Yeah. It means that it's light coming from an unknown direction.
where did you learn these words?
I went to art college, right? You know.
Oh, I
did.
see.
Yeah, I'm all
Oh, yes.
educated. and everything.
But, you know, what about the folks that aren't artists? They need to know what you're talking about.
Oh, they're getting educated too.
You know
aren't
what?
they?
There's a guy was
I
in
wonder
our
if that's
church.
how that's pronounced. If anybody knows how that's pronounced, please let me know.
What was his name? Rogers. What was his first name? You
Mr.
don't-
Rogers, not
No, not Roy Rogers.
Oh, Roy Rogers.
This guy was a prisoner in the Second World War.
Coville?
No, Rogers, you wouldn't know.
No, obviously not.
He was in our church, and he
Okay.
he was in. We had a church, a hospital in North York in Toronto, Branson Hospital.
Right.
He was the administrator. He asked for a dictionary when he was in prison.
Oh.
He memorized the dictionary. Now I don't know if he knew every word, but when he talked, you didn't have a clue what he was talking about. Because he was just.
I'm not sure there's a great purpose in that.
Well, I think he
but I can
loved
see
it.
what a wonderful way to keep your sanity. Really. I
You
think
didn't
that's
know.
very
You
good.
didn't know what he was talking about because
My
he used
mother
all
was
these
great with
words.
words.
What?
My mother was great with words. She was a reader.
Oh
Yeah, she would read. Oh, she read Dickens and Shakespeare. She read them all. She loved them. She loved that. Isn't that
What's
coming
that? Yellow spot down there.
Is this spot? Where? Tell me.
Right, but
There?
No, below that white spot's down. That's the sticks there. Keep going down. There. What's that? Oh, there. That's it.
I can't have you unhappy, me boy.
That
No.
didn't bug me.
Can't be unhappy. Are you enjoying watching this come
Yes,
together?
I am.
Oh, good.
I really am.
I'm enjoying watching
especially
it.
like the layer now, the covering up.
Yeah, really.
It's starting to come to life.
Yeah, it is. And it will, like, with acrylics, not always. Like, acrylic, sometimes I'll use a white canvas and keep it very light. And I will do one like that, too.
I just realized you really like grapes, don't you?
I do like grapes.
You know what? Keep painting. I'm going to go get my other camera. And
Yeah.
you're going to hear a click here, folks, so don't worry about it. I just saw something. I got to photograph this, and I'm going to stick it in here in a minute.
Okay, he's gone. He's gone for a minute, people. Anyway, meantime, I'm still doing this. My brush strokes are really what I go after. When I'm teaching, I just go after brush strokes. And I usually work on opposites, like I might do. In this case, it's not quite so much. But I'll do, if there's a big stroke, I'll do a little stroke. If I do certain things, I usually try to work in an opposite way because it makes it more interesting. What have you done?
I just took a picture of you painting.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I think there's pictures going on. You're still going to do some more? Okay, let me see. Now look at this. I'm going down here. I'm just working with this lovely, lovely pinky stuff.
Now, here's what I see.
Oh, what does he see, gay people? What's he looking at? I got a lot of pictures of grapes. I've done some very large pictures of grapes. My kids have. I think I can do, but grapes are beautiful to do. I tell you what, the other thing I like to do is rocks. Oh, he's going around looking for grapes.
I found a grapevine.
He's found a grapevine. Actually, if you there's some in there too. Like I can dig out a whole bunch of little grapes.
No, this is different.
Okay, this is different. Did you catch that, everybody?
did.
That's different.
I got it.
When this is the other thing that I do.
We're going to have to wait till get to this point of the video.
That's all right. Okay, I'm just going to do even a little bit, tiny bit in here. Now, there's just going to be, I'm not going to do them all, because if I did them all, that's called redundancy. And we do not want to bore our audience.
That's all the clicking you're getting, folks.
Okay. Look at this. See what's coming?
Oh yeah, this is
Isn't
good.
this fun? It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go back into here.
And I like those leaves. They just set it off.
They really will. And then I do like greenery in between them afterwards. Like I don't always know how things are going to go. But then that's the story of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way of life, the way it is, yes. So now I'm using Naples yellow because the white would be too bright, but I've left it there to play my highest note. So I'm doing this. Now I'm going to go in here. I'm going to do a few more. And this all you have to do is little circles to start with. And then sometimes you'll see where I go in with some darks still. So that's what I'm doing with this. It's just easy. You just have to get the paint in there because you want to have something to work with. You know, like work against. If you like light and dark, you have to have darks and get light.
You have to paint.
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
You really do. And with this method, I do acrylic watercolor method.
Yeah.
And I did one, I think. Did I do one?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a lovely method to do that. I'll do a few more of those because they're wonderful. For those who want to do acrylics, but they like the watercolor as well.
Yeah. Talk about painting. I remember my uncle, Willie. You remember Willie Boudelier, the blacksmith? McDonald's Point?
Yes.
He's my uncle. Actually, my great uncle.
I remember him.
He was
now.
a genius. Anyway, he built...
Yes, he was. I can believe that. I can remember if you want anything fixed, that guy could do anything.
Yeah.
He was amazing. Yes.
Roby Boudelier broke a gear in his separator. You know what a separator is?
No.
Well, we all had cows. Many people had their own cow.
Right.
In order to make your butter, you had to separate the milk from the cream.
Yeah.
There's a separator. You put the milk in this big pan, then you turn the crank, and it would separate the milk from the cream.
I vaguely remember things like that.
Yeah.
You know? Even at my age.
I'm younger than you, and
I know.
Unless your memory failed you.
Just a little puppy here, you know.
Anyway, he couldn't get a gear. Couldn't get one from the manufacturer. Couldn't get a distributor. They didn't make them anymore, and there were none around. So Roby took the gear up to Uncle Willie. And
that's a job for Lone
Uncle
Willie.
Willie says, "Just leave it there. I'll see what I can do."
Oh, I love this story. Oh,
And so
because I met him. And
he talks so gentle.
Oh, he was the best.
Yeah, and
funny. That recalls a memory now because Anyway, carry on.
So he made the gear with a drill, and a file. He filed the gear.
Drill and a file.
He had no machine shop. He was a blacksmith.
I know. I
And-
remember the blacksmith shop. And I wish I'd... Did you have any photographs of it?
No,
Oh,
I know.
wish
that was
you know, I would paint that
priceless.
in a heartbeat.
Oh,
And Willie, too.
yes.
Oh, wouldn't that make a
Oh.
gorgeous painting? Could we remember how to do it? Do you have anything that...
No.
Because I remember that. But in those days, I didn't... You know, I had young people, young children. I didn't paint much in those days.
Anyway, I don't know how long it took him, but he did it. And Roby took the gear home. He said it fit like it was machined. He said it was
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Oh, yeah.
So you see how I start dark here?
Yeah. Uncle Willie.
Uncle Willie, yeah.
Now, what was... Oh, I was... See, in my mind, I get sidetracked so easy.
Do you, Ralph?
Yes.
Do you, Ivan?
I was going to talk about boats and paint.
Oh, were you?
That's, remember I said you need lots of paint?
Yes, okay.
So-
that was what you were referring
Oh,
to?
that's where I'm heading.
Hang in there!
Anyway,
You're doing good.
Uncle Willie built Laurie Fraser this Cape Islander. Now, for folks that don't know what a Cape Islander is, it's a boat. It's the kind. It was designed in Cape Sable Island, and it's known as a Cape Islander. And that's what you see the fishermen using for their lobster boats and all that.
Oh, I've got
You know,
Ivan
Jody's
around
boat
here.
out there.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
That's Cape Islander.
Oh, yes.
So anyway,
I draw those things like crazy.
yeah. Uncle Willie built Laurie this Cape Islander, and I remember he had it was all down at Laurie's wharf, and it was all painted and everything, but the floorboards he needed to put another coat of paint on it, and I was there. I don't know why I was there, but I was everywhere, and if there was a boat, I was around it. And I remember,
You were, eh?
oh yeah,
Yeah. Aw.
and I remember Laurie had a gallon of paint, gray paint, and he was painting the floor of his boat. He says, I like lots of paint. And he would take the paint and he'd take the bucket and he'd dump the paint on the floor.
I could do that. I could see that.
And then he'd take the brush and smear it all around. I like lots of paint when you're painting. He says, you got to have paint. And when you said you got to have paint, that struck me. And that I was probably 14 years old, 12 or 14 then.
Really? Oh, that's so fun. That is so fun.
And of course there was, and I'm not going to mention because I knew who it was, people were poaching lobsters.
No.
Oh, yeah.
People don't poach
yes,
lobsters.
they
That's
do.
dishonest. That's
Well,
not nice.
Who owns the sea?
Yeah,
All right?
that's
Like
right.
when we grew up, you could go fishing. I remember Roy says, well, one day they'll make us have a license. We won't be able to go out there and catch a fish.
Yeah.
And so anyway, they were friends of mine.
I bet they were.
And,
See, that's just catching that light.
oh,
See what
look at
that's
that.
doing?
That's,
Not fun.
oh, that's really coming along.
That's really coming along, isn't it? All right.
Anyway, word got around that the neighbors, somebody was poaching lobsters. So the fisheries officers came around.
Oh, the gendarmes.
And
There.
you know Chuck Jones, Gert's husband.
Yes. Well, I knew who he was. I
Yeah.
didn't really know him. I knew
Oh,
Gert,
didn't
of
you?
course.
Oh, yeah. Well, Chuck was a fisheries officer.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. And I had my own boat when I was 11. I think I told you that before.
Yes, you did.
And I was up by John's one day, my best friend John, and I was heading up there, and I had to go by Laurie's wharf.
See, I'm doing little negative shapes here, you see.
Okay, yeah.
Because that makes them paint.
Yeah, don't hesitate to interrupt me.
Okay. Thank you for that, Ivan. Don't
We're
you
here-
love
we're-
this man? I
We're
just
here to
think-
paint, not...
Yeah, well,
But we
it's
don't
a
want you to
bit
get
of
bored.
both. Well, no, but I love his stories. And if anybody please look, really, this writing in thing is important.
This
because
what?
This writing in to us.
What do you mean writing? Oh, writing in! I thought you were talking about the painting.
No, but writing in to us.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh yeah,
It-
that makes my day when I see when I see there's a message.
Yeah,
Oh, I got to click on that right away.
I know it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really is
especially
fun.
when but, you know, sometimes they don't like us. Well, not you, me. Us. I should say us.
Well, I'm a big girl. I can take it.
Yeah, me too. But I've had a few negative comments on my things that I've done and said.
Eh?
Oh yeah, that's okay. I know those people have problems, so I don't worry about it.
That's the way to put it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So anyway, back to Chuck.
Yeah, carry on.
I'm driving by. I'm in my boat. I had a big wow. I had an 11.5-foot boat, and I had a 3 horsepower. I thought it was the king of the road.
I bet you did.
Anyway, and the fisheries officers are there out on Lawyer's Wharf, and they wave me over. Well, I'm just a squirt, just a little fella. And so I go over, and they said, I don't know. They started hemming and hawing, asking questions, and said, "Who owns that box out there?" There's a...
Okay, folks, here it comes.
a box, like there's a box in the water, a fish box?
Oh, yes.
You know what they are.
Yes, I
They're
do.
about, what, 3 feet? No, well, about 2 by 3 feet, roughly. And they float in the water. They got holes in them, and that people will put fish in them, right?
Yeah.
And they said, "Who owns that box out there?" I said, "Lori Fraser." You know what's in it? Yeah, I know what's in it.
Not me, Judge.
Yeah, I know what's in it. How do you know what's in it? I said, "You promise you won't tell?" I mean, these are authority guys, right? They're in uniform. "Yeah, we promise we won't tell." I said, "Eels." They said, "How do you know?" I said, "I looked." And I did.
Were they eels?
Oh, yeah, there was eels.
Oh, there was eels. Those weren't illegal, though.
Oh, no.
No. It's only lobsters, isn't it?
Yeah, at that time.
At that time, yeah.
Well, they weren't illegal if you had a license. And,
No.
And back then,
Well, I can see that for the fishermen. My gosh, those guys go out there.
anybody could have a license back then, practically.
Yes.
But,
But it has changed.
oh, yeah.
Okay,
My
this is-
brothers had a license. I don't know if they even had to pay for it. It might have been a couple bucks. But they used to catch, they had a few lobster traps. They should have kept the license. Now they're worth $500,000.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, you're putting the grapes to it now.
I put the grapes to it now. I can understand why the fishermen, those guys go out there in that ocean
Oh, yeah.
and risk their lives,
I know.
really. I mean, I marvel
Yeah.
at them.
But they love it.
They do.
You know Jody.
I do. He
Jody,
keeps his boat here sometimes.
yeah, he loves fishing. That's his love.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he's a nice man. I like
Oh,
Willie.
yeah.
He cleans his boat, he ties it up to the wharf down
Yeah.
there. To Albert's Wharf. I love that when he does it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting out there reading a book. Saying, "How are you doing, Jody?" And Jody
He is
knows
such a personable.
Yeah,
guy.
he really is. Those are wonderful people. I've often thought that, if anybody is going to go into fishermen and then they'll say, "Well, lobsters are so much a pound." And I'll say, "Yeah, they deserve it." I mean, think of what they do to get them.
So anyway,
So there we have it.
that's
So it's
looking
coming
good.
along.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
I
I'm
like
kind
that.
of developing.
I really like this.
Oh, I'm so glad you do. I'm so glad you do.
Wow.
So it's a little bit different. What I'm going to do next time, if I'm not doing a watercolor, I'll probably do a landscape, which will be entirely the antithesis of this.
But
You like
did you
that word
notice-
antithesis? It's like it's like antithesis. You're not the only one who can be silly,
Look out your window. Look at the mood out there.
Wow, it is beautiful.
I got to take another picture. I'm sorry.
It's just in his blood, folks. He's got to do this.
The mood. Down there by the brook. Oh, you lost a branch.
I know I did. I don't know how I did.
Oh, you got that silly screen door on there.
Sorry. I do that sometimes to keep the flies out in the summertime. Don't you know? So all I'm using here is a little bit of Naples yellow with a tiny bit of that crimson in it. Yeah. So it's coming along, isn't it? What do you think, Ivan? Should we put it to rest until next time?
I
What do you
think so.
I think we should. There's quite a bit to do. What I think I might do, and I'm going to tell folks this, I think what I'm going to do is see this dark stuff up here. I won't do this kind of thing.
All right.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill that in.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to do. They don't have to watch me do that.
Oh, you're not going to let us see it?
Do you want me to wait till next time?
Yeah.
Okay, I will. Then
We want to see the whole thing. I
Okay.
don't like when people do that.
Okay, I won't do that.
All right.
Okay, I won't do that. Because I'll do the branches, and I'll do. Okay, so that's it for today.
All right.
And then we're going to meet next time.
Yes.
And I'll finish this one up, and then the one after that.
You mean you'll be able to finish it in the next session?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I will.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be. No, I think I can, because most of the large stuff is done. And don't forget, I did this one before for this, so I knew what I made all my mistakes, if you like, by working that out. And I often do that too. But most of the time, like, I like to have more, like, can you see this? Can they see this? I just want to show them this one. Whoops.
Now don't put that on top of that.
No, be
Here,
careful.
keep it right here where we can see it.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah.
What I want to do, and this is what I like to do, and you'll see this turn up in most of my paintings. Like, this could be a sky. If you had the right colors, it could be a sky. Those strokes could be a sky. This dark background is important, so it gives it something to support. I wanted the light sort of to hit certain places, so that's what we're going to be doing.
All right.
You can see this lower part down here. Well, that's going to be darkened, so I'm going to be doing that, and then we're going to, we're going to flush it out, if you like.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Very
so
good.
till next time.
Yep.
Thank you very much, and please subscribe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.